It's actually really wild when you look at the trajectory of what is happening in Minneapolis right now, and you look at the ICE presence and you look at the rioting and you look at this coordinated, high level coordinated effort to prevent ICE from doing their jobs. And you track that trajectory back to when one YouTuber armed with an iPhone set out to expose rampant fraud in the city. It's like actually mind-blowing how crazy the trajectory of this issue has been. And joining me now is that YouTuber himself, Nick Shirley. And I will just say, Nick, you call yourself a YouTuber. I would say you're quite the independent journalist. And I want to start, I should say, by asking, did you ever think in a million years that you going out there with an iPhone would create the snowball that this has led to?
Yeah, it's a good question because I knew it was going to make a difference, but to this level, I think what you saw was kind of unprecedented as far as the reaction that it caused, not just within the population, but also within inside of the government. As far as I'm sending in even more investigation, more investigators, and they also sent in just more everything in general. I mean, ICE was already there, but they sent in more ICE. They sent in, like I said, more investigators, and all of the above to kind of go in really attack this fraud that's been taking place.
Yeah, it's been really incredible to watch the response from not just the administration, but just from the country itself. Why did you want to? What made you decide to want to go out there and start exposing this fraud?
I think we're all just sick and tired of seeing tax dollars go to waste. And so I heard about the fraud taking place back in last June. And from that point on, I knew that it was a big issue. So I was just waiting and doing my own due diligence to make sure that when I do go, that I was going to be able to make the best video possible to show the fraud that was taking place. And so that's kind of why I did it, just to show that what's happening is true and to tell people and show people that, yeah, our tax dollars are being wasted. And we always hear about the fraud taking place, but we never actually been able to see it with our eyes. And so I think that's why the video did so well as well, because people were really actually able to see that fraud with their own eyes. And that's something that surprised me as well when we went out and did that video.
Yeah, there really is something to people not really believing it, not really allowing it to sink in until they see something put forth right in front of them. Take, for instance, like I did a lot of exposés on the drag queen story time hours and the all ages drag shows that were happening here in the state of Texas. And I think a lot of people, they don't realize it. And there is something about just having it put right directly in front of them that really, really hammers the point home, where they can no longer go, yeah, but how much is it really? Yeah, but how much fraud is actually happening in Minneapolis? And you're like, oh, it turns out a whole hell of a lot. And so as you've been uncovering this fraud over in Minneapolis, obviously, your safety is now at risk here. Everyone in America knows who you are, seemingly overnight, which I do want to ask you about, because that's like that must be totally insane for you and your family to have to worry about. But you're not backing down. You're continuing to go out there. And I want to just play for the audience that this is the kind of response that you are getting from the Somali community. Watch.
You want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. We're the transportation company.
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. Hey, what's up? What you got going on, man? Hey. You keep the false narrative that you be going on. It's a nonsense.
You should get in your car because
you should not be doing that, right? You are creating misinformation. This is not fair. It's not fair for the American people to be doing that.
Get out. No, get out. Live. Sir, just answer the simple question.
Hey, don't touch me. You touch me. You YouTube, man. Get out.
All right, code word has been given. We're out. Get
out.
All right, we got to get out of here.
Get out.
Not the reaction of what I would say is an innocent person who's done nothing wrong. They get very defensive and aggressive with you. And now you have, 24/7 security because of how violently these people are reacting?
That's correct. And you'd think if they weren't doing anything shady, they'd be able to come out and answer the question, what's the need for $2.25 million, for instance, at that one daycare that was just right there? What's the need for that? Instead, they just start swearing, cussing at you, yelling at you, Meanwhile, like I said, you have millions of people watching you right now. Explain yourself. And so, yes, now I do need 24/7 security. And it does help a lot when people do donate. And as you see on the screen at the supportnickshirley.com, you can go ahead and donate there. And like I've had to raise and spend thousands of dollars in order just to keep myself safe and my family as well.
I would imagine that that is probably the craziest part of all of this, having your life just kind of transformed instantly. But is there anything else that just kind of is surprising to you since the reaction, has happened, and since now you're like this worldwide superstar? Now, well, I say superstar, probably Somalia doesn't like you. I think probably the people in Somalia, they know who you are. You're not a superstar to them, though. They really don't like you. But everyone else, you're like this worldwide superstar. What's been like the craziest part of all of this for you?
I'm not planning on going to Somalia anytime soon, so thankfully I wasn't making any planned vacations there. I think the biggest surprise is how people have openly started to defend fraud. I mean, I went and testified in front of Congress, and only 2 of the Democrat congressmen showed up out of the 8 that was supposed to be there. And they didn't direct one single question towards me
Wow.
because they know the fraud's happening. And so these people are literally gotten to the point where they're defending fraud, or to the point where they don't even want to speak out against the fraud because it's happened inside of their own areas or the areas that they represent.
Wow. Yeah, it really is very telling that the Democrats are now running on a platform of like, we want to protect the fraudsters. We want to, I mean, again, I go back to it, your video is really what kind of transformed Minneapolis overnight, because you went out there, you exposed the fraud. It all happened to be within the Somali community. That's not your fault. That doesn't make you a racist. That doesn't make you a xenophobe. It's just true. It's just the facts. And so you go out there, you expose it. Then this creates this firestorm. Then you've got the ICE agents going out there, more of them going out there. And now we see what all that has transpired to. But I mean, I'm sure you get called a racist a lot. I heard the guy in that video say, you're just spreading misinformation. You're just spreading misinformation, and you're making it a dangerous situation for them. What is your reaction to rhetoric like that?
If there was any other race outside of those buildings, they would have got filmed as well. It just happens to be that 89% of the fraud has been committed and charged inside Minnesota is by Somalians. So by no means am I a racist. By any means, I'm just a fact teller and a truth teller. And so, I mean, that's the way that they're going to try to deflect on the issue when it comes down to it. But at the end of the day, everyone needs to stand their own ground, stand on business, and speak a fact for a fact and the truth for the truth, and not be scared to be called those things, as long as you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who hadn't heard of you before, you've been doing this a while, actually. Some of the other videos that you've done, inside CCOT, the mega prison full of deadly gangsters, you infiltrated Rio, Brazil's most dangerous gang. You took on Antifa in the streets of Portland, went inside the largest crackdown of MS-13 gang members. Nick, I have to believe that your mom worries about you sometimes.
I think she does too. I think my grandma worries the most, though. That's the most concerning one.
Wait, who?
My grandma.
Oh, your poor grandma's like, Nick, do you have to go inside the Rio, Brazil's most dangerous gang? Like, is that a thing you have to do?
I know, right? Is it stuff I need to do? No, but I mean, do I find it entertaining, and do I think people will like it? Yes. And I think it is important because
it's so crazy.
For instance, like Rio, for example, most people have no idea that that's how people live. And the prisons in El Salvador as well. No one knows how bad a country could get until it gets to the point where they have to put people inside of these prisons in order to make the country safe. So what I try to do is try to show like world issues, whether it be with gangs in Brazil or prisoners inside El Salvador or Somalians committing fraud inside of Minnesota. And you'll see I'm going to a new location this week, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but you're going to see massive and open, blatantly fraud taking place in other parts of the country as well.
Wow. Well, so with all of these other things that you've done, you obviously have no problem putting yourself in harm's way, I would say, or at least taking risk, I would say. You are risking bodily injury to put yourself out there and get the videos and show people what's happening. Where have you felt the most danger? Like, where did you, in what, was it the Somali community? Was it going into Brazil? Like, where did you feel like, oh crap, this actually might be kind of dangerous?
If I'm being honest, the most dangerous places I've been have been here in America.
Wow.
Whether it be the Antifa in Portland, Oregon, where a DHS officer had to put a laser on top of the guy because he said he was going to quote unquote smoke me, or the streets of Kensington, Philadelphia, where a man told me if I were to walk one more block, they were going to shoot me. So the most dangerous places I've been have quite literally been here in America.
That's really sad. That's not a good reflection of our country and where we're headed. I genuinely thought you might say Brazil or something, but that is really depressing, actually. And yet you say these things, and all you're doing is exposing the truth, and you still have people blinded by the fact that, like, for instance, in Minnesota, it's not the Somalians, it's the fraud. Can we all, like, out of all the things that I would have thought, wanted to predict that would happen in 2025, 2026, I just would have never guessed that we would be so polarized in this country that we couldn't just come together on the issue of waste, fraud, and corruption, right? Like, we couldn't just come together on the issue of abusing a system, of stealing taxpayer money. I felt like that should be a bipartisan issue. Why do you think the Democrats are so resistant to get on board with something that seems so simple?
Because they're committing the majority of the fraud. It's plain and simple. The majority of these fraud cases, for instance, they paused the funding in 5 states, and they just said, let's have you prove us that these are legitimate businesses beforehand. The HHS did this. Instead of complying and working with the government, they have literally sued the federal government to try and not provide information before federal funds are sent into these programs. If they had nothing to hide and they had children to feed, they would be sending over that payment immediately. But because they know what they're doing is wrong, they are actively suing the federal government to try and postpone the time until they have to send over proof of legitimacy for some of these businesses.
That's nuts. I mean, it feels like their brains have been broken by politics rather than just helping out the American people. Now, I do want to play, Nick, while I have you here, I do want to play one of my favorite parts of your videos, which is these white saviors. They have this white savior complex, and they think that it's like their duty to protect their brown and black sisters and brothers and make sure to tell them when ICE is coming. And Here's some of this clip. Watch.
Don't open up. So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up.
They said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up.
How do you have ICE here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up. We have ICE.
Ma'am, what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children?
Don't open up.
And getting $4 million over
Don't
the
open up. It's ICE.
$4 million in the last 2 years.
Go away.
What do you think about that? Are you in favor?
Away.
Are you in favor of that?
Go away.
You know
You're not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Okay, Nick, I have to know, like, did she ever finally realize ma'am, I'm in a gray hoodie with an iPhone and a wireless mic? Like, I'm obviously not ICE. Did you ever get her to come around?
No. In fact, she just got frozen. She didn't know what to say after we asked her, ma'am, are you okay with $1.9 million being sent here? She could not even respond. That's part of this brainwashing that you're seeing take place. Is these people have gotten to the point where they believe in these ideas, yet they've never actually received the backing of that idea to make them be able to have a conversation. So when you ask them just the second question, they can't go any further or expound on what they actually believe because there's actually nothing there to hold up that idea. And so she's a perfect example of that brainwashing that's taking place all across the country with these people.
Yeah, she really was. I was like, oh my gosh, ma'am, like two and two, it equals 4. Just add up some of these context clues here. By the way, I will just go ahead and promote you are wearing a gray hoodie again, but this time it is the Quality Learning Center 1-800-FRAUD hoodie, which they can find where, Nick?
At that same link at supportnickshirley.com, you can find that there as well. You can find security and you can also find the hoodie as well.
So if you want to donate to help Nick's security fund, but you also want a really funny hoodie, then make sure to go to supportnickshirley.com. Another reason that they should definitely support you is because you did the great service to America of single-handedly ending Tim Walz's career as governor. I mean, just like that, like you have Nick Shirley to thank for that, actually. And he seems a little salty. He is not letting that go. Like I don't know, like a woman on her period. He's not going to let it go. He's going to come back and you guys are going to have an argument in 10 years and he's going to be like, yeah, but that one time you ended my career as governor. And he's still taking shots of you in the media. Watch.
We had people steal from us. We've got folks try to make hay out of this. Absolutely. We're still getting court cases that we're moving forward. We've got a lot of folks that have now, I think, put those program integrity pieces in place. I'm feeling really good about that. This is, again, look, we have a well-run state. We have high quality of life. We did have people steal. We're now seeing other states had that too. But I said I didn't run to be called the governor. I ran to do the job. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm really proud.
Disingenuous clown. Obviously, when you go back after your expose, I saw these headlines where these Democrat strategists were like, yeah, actually, a lot of people knew that this was going on under Tim Walz for a very long time, to the extent that we thought it was crazy that Kamala Harris's campaign didn't vet him properly before they asked him to be her vice president. So this is something that has been talked about quietly in circles for a really long time. And I'm curious, Nick, has Tim Walz ever tried reaching out directly to you to discuss this with you?
No, he has not. He has not. I would actually be open to talking with Tim Walz about it, because I think, just like all of us, we want to see the fraud come to an end. And if he knew about the fraud, he literally just said in that clip that obviously people have stolen from them. Why didn't we get a hold of it earlier? Why didn't we actually control it until a 23-year-old came and visited the locations where the fraud was taking place? Why didn't somebody stop it earlier?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. And instead of accusing you of making hay out of it or whatever, I'd be getting you on the phone like, hey, can you, I want to help. I want to stop this. I want to stop the waste and the fraud and the abuse. Can you please, however you can help me or I can help you, let's all work together to do that. And instead, he's painting you as MAGA. He's painting you as, like, I think he called you a white supremacist. Like, what, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's just a deflection tactic of them, and that's why they've enabled the fraud to happen for so long, because if you were to speak out against it, you would be called a white supremacist, you'd be called an Islamophobe, you'd be called all these things just to get people to not talk about the fraud. And luckily, I've never let any of those words get to me, because I know they're not true. And that's what they do as far as trying to hide. They try to scare people away from saying the truth. And so that's just one of their tactics that they do in order to try and control the narrative.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's happened to me as well in some of the work that I've done in the past. But I do kind of want to talk about the Nick Shirley effect, because I will say, I just got a great compliment. What was it? Friday, maybe? I went on Alex Jones' InfoWars, and he told me that I was the Nick Shirley 2.0. And I was like, okay, I'll take that. I'm great with that, actually. It's a great compliment. What we did, I don't know if you saw, but you were kind of an inspiration for my team and I to just go, you know what? We'll just go knock on some doors. We'll just go ask some questions with regard to the H-1B visas that are being handed out like candy here in this country, and particularly here in the state of Texas. And I I didn't face the level of harassment and danger that you faced, but I did, knock on some doors. I had 911 called on me because I literally asked a question about some guy's business. And it's been really interesting watching the defensiveness of these people who claim that they're just super innocent and not doing anything wrong. And it's been really interesting seeing, like, public pressure works, exposure works. And I just mentioned earlier in the show, we just had the governor of Texas freeze H-1B visas at the statewide level. I had them texting me saying, like, thank you for your report, because it was very helpful with this. So I want to encourage the viewers, You can do this. Anyone can do this. You can take an iPhone and go knock on some doors. You can go do some research on your computer and find out what you want to expose, and you can be empowered to do this. So do you have any advice to people, like what areas maybe they could be looking into? What if people want to get involved at that level and be a citizen journalist, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to do your own due diligence before you go ahead and do it, right? Because it is dangerous. And then if you see something suspicious, do your own investigation. Look at the records from the states that you live in, because all that information should be there. And if it's not there, you should be able to ask, because it should be public information in most cases.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I know you kind of teased that you're doing something. You're dropping it, or are you doing it? Like, have you already shot it yet?
Not yet, but it's all set in place.
So you're
to go
going
get
to
it done,
actually
so
shoot it.
Should be interesting.
Nick, you're not even going to give us a hint, Nick?
Well, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Okay, well, I can't wait for everyone to
I don't want to blow my cover. I'm going tomorrow, so I don't want to blow the cover.
Sure. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I was like, oh, I just want just a little hint, but that's okay. I understand. You mentioned that you were in Congress testifying, which was amazing. I was so happy to see you there. You were, during your time in D.C., you did stop by to give Ilhan Omar a special gift. I think we have a clip of that. Let's watch.
All right, so right now we're outside of Representative Ilhan Omar's office. We're trying to give her a Quality Learning Center hoodie. Let's see if she's here. Hello. Is Representative Omar here? Thank you.
No, the conversation's not currently in the office. Is there a message you want us to pass along to her?
Yes, I wanted to give Congresswoman Ilhan Omar a hoodie.
Okay, I can
Quality Learning
pass.
Center.
Okay, I
She
can
here by
pass that
chance?
along.
Can you please give Ilhan Omar a Quality Learning Center hoodie?
All right.
Thank you. Hope she likes it. Hopefully she leers a little, because fraud's bad.
Nick, that's so good. Did we get like a thank you note from Ilhan Omar? Do we know? Did she get the Quality Learning sweatshirt?
Oh, I think she's loving it, because they're pretty comfy. She's probably in that office wearing it. And it's cold in DC right now.
It is. It is. I hope she's bundled up in it. And then I also, since we have a little bit of time left here, I do want to play Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. Just for a programming note, we're going to be airing this interview in full, unedited in Technicolor, unlike Andrew Callahan, another YouTuber. And thankfully, you filmed that interaction so you could expose his deception as well. Here's some of that.
Name a Democrat city that's prospering right now.
Well, it would have to be one that's affordable.
Name one.
Denver.
Why are you smirking? It's not prospering.
All right, so that's the clip Andrew posted, but this is the actual interaction of how it went.
Denver.
Why are you smirking?
Because I don't know if it's prospering.
It's not. See, you can't even answer the question. It's not prospering. Denver's not prospering either.
I agree that Democrat-run states are doing badly.
Kind of weird that Andrew didn't put that in, right? Maybe his base or something would not be happy with that response, because he obviously got caught lying.
Has he said anything to you? Like, did he apologize to you or anything for all of this deception?
No, in fact, he made a response video openly saying he edited that video, but said that that was factually inaccurate. When I showed proof of exactly what happened, I mean, that was just very deceptive editing on his part, and wasn't cool, wasn't true. And that's not what you do, especially if you sit down for a long format interview. That's literally what they did to Trump on 60 Minutes and PBS. And so that's obviously not good journalism or no integrity there. He obviously had a slant that he wanted to come in on, because if he really wanted to show people, he'd show the full thing, which I did post the full interview.
Yeah. But it's really sad that you have to go to the lengths of doing that just to protect yourself from these like shit-lib journalists just trying to, deceive their viewer and try to make you look bad, quite honestly, which I don't appreciate. All right. Make sure to tell everyone, I'm sure like the entire world is subscribed to your YouTube channel by now, but just in case there are any stragglers who haven't made their way there yet, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. Just Nick Shirley, just like Shirley Temple. So everywhere I am just Nick Shirley.
Well, Nick, I gotta say, your parents clearly raised you right. You seem like a really, really great man of great character. And if I were your mother, I would be very proud of that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the great work that you're doing. Keep us posted on this like secret expose. I can't wait to hear what it is, but whatever it is, we'll heavily promote it. And we appreciate all of your great work.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.